One question that comes up a lot, but I don't think is talked about a lot is when you're thinking about relocating to someone new, you're researching flood zones, you're looking at all the schools, taxes, all of that stuff, but also you're wondering, am I going to be able to make friends there? What's the lifestyle going to be like? Moving somewhere new at 35, 45, 55, and wondering, am I going to make friends? How is my life going to be? I've just lived somewhere for forever. I've had the same friend group. I've had the same activities, the same kind of social life. How is that going to change once we pick up and move to somewhere completely different, a new state? So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So stay tuned. If you're new here, I am Melissa Anderson. I'm your eXp realtor here in Northeast Florida. And each week I bring you new videos and topics to help you with the questions that you have about relocating here to this area. So if you've been thinking about making that move, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos. All right, let's get right into it. I would say like building a social life from scratch as an adult is genuinely harder than it was when you were a kid or in college or in your 20s or, all of those things. Especially now if you're coming with a family. Yeah, it's just you're working, you're typically going to be working full time. Even now, like if you're working remote, you're not having to get out to get anywhere to meet people. It can be, that can be a really top fear. Like, I'm going to move and not know anybody. Like, how am I going to make friends? So, if this has been a worry of yours, which I mean, it has been, I'm sure it's been top of mind for so many of my relocation buyers. One of the reasons a lot of people move here is for the lifestyle. They're typically moving from somewhere where the majority of the year it's so cold, they're buried in snow, there's not really an opportunity to get out. Here, it's about the lifestyle. The weather is so amazing. The majority of the year, we do have hot summers. You're going to be outside. And when you're outside, you're going to have the opportunity to meet people. And that's another thing, like choosing the community that you want to live in. Do you want to be active? Do you want to be outdoors? Do you want to be involved in the social calendar of that community? There's these master plan communities plan so many resident events, and it's an opportunity to get out and to meet people. And of course, you can join your neighborhood Facebook group, community Facebook groups. If you have hobbies, I know Mahjong is the big thing. I haven't gotten into that yet, but I have a lot of friends that play. There's those types of groups, book clubs. There's all kind of different things. And of course, as your realtor, I'm happy when you come down here to introduce you to people, to show you around town, to make introductions, whatever. And I will be your first friend. But yeah, joining those groups maybe ahead of time before you even make the move, but that you're going to move, um, and meeting different people online that you can make plans with to meet here in person. And of course, if you have children, if your children are into hobbies, sports, school stuff, you're going to meet other parents that way as well. So it's a little bit easier to make those adult friend groups. Like I said, if you're in one of the master plan communities, I mean, you have the amenity centers, you're going to be at the pool, you're going to be at their gym, whatever, you're going to meet people. And so that's probably one of the best and easiest ways. You're going to be outside, you're going to be taking walks, you're going to be biking, going to the beach. All those things are opportunities to meet people. And of course, pickleball. Can't believe I even left that out. Pickleball is so huge. And so now we also have like indoor pickleball places because it gets too hot in the summer. So you can only play like early in the morning or in the evening. But if you're into that, for sure you're going to make friends. But yeah, just what are your hobbies and find groups around that as well. I always ask people. So I have like a questionnaire that I send people who are thinking about living here. And, you really need to think about your lifestyle. And it could be too, like some people are total introverts. They're happy being at home. They don't necessarily need to get out and meet people. That's fine. So if that's the case, like maybe you wouldn't pick one of the big master plan communities that have, is full of people who want to be social and get out and do things. Of course, you could still live there. But why pay for that if you're not going to be using it? And then we might be looking at other neighborhoods that would be a good fit where you don't have to pay maybe the high CDD fee for amenities and things that you're not necessarily going to use. So think about that too. But if that fear has been sitting in the back of your head, like, oh, we want to move, but like, gosh, it's so much harder to, make friends as an adult, or we work remote. We're not getting out to like meet people that way. These communities here are the perfect opportunity. And it's the fear is not irrational. So if you have any questions about like what could that move, what could it look like living here in St. Johns County, I have a free 26-page relocation guide that is free to you. You can just comment below guide, or you can use my contact information. I'm going to put right here and reach out and say, hey, can you send me that guide? And I absolutely will. If you have any questions about making this move, use that contact information and reach out. I would love to help. And until next time.